Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Hollywoodbets Super League, the premier division of women's football in this country. This time sees the University of the Western Cape going up against the University of Johannesburg. Two sides that have a tale of two very different stories. The home side, University of Western Cape, sitting 14th on the table, and of course UJ sitting pretty at 6th on the table, fighting for their way up to the top. Today brings us all the way down to the beautiful city of Cape Town. Of course, the UWC Stadium will be our host for today. As you can see, the ground, the athletics track around the ground. You can see the wind blowing in the corner flag on the far side, going from a right to left on our screen. And now, I wonder if that's going to have any decision in the toss a little bit later in terms of who decides to play where in which direction. Just having a look at the league so far, UWC sitting 14th on the log. They've played 17. They've only managed to get the 5 victories, 6 losses and 6 draws in their campaign, scoring 18 goals, just under 1 goal a game. As we have a little look at the starting lineup, some players to look out for. Tiffany Kortke, she's managed to get 3 goals in her last 17 matches. Unfortunately, she finds herself sitting on the bench, does at the number 5 today. In goals will be their star Tande Gangobo, who has only managed to keep the 1 clean sheet in her 17 games. Nonetheless, that will be a decent effort for her. As we have a look at some of the other key players in this side, Zikona Nokala, who's managed to get herself 2 goals in this competition, will be looking at to be deadly as things go on. That's the UWC side. Of course, the coach Tina Sonke Mbuli will be looking at to get some real words of wisdom down to their troopers and make sure that they get a good run of form. They've only managed a 1 victory in their last 5 games. University of Johannesburg Football Club sitting 6th on the table. They've played 4 more games than the University of Western Cape. 21 games played, managing 10 victories. Their star striker for the day, Ayesha Musa, will not be taking part in this game. Tatum Folo makes her way onto the park in the number 9 jersey. 6 goals in her 19 games. And then, as you can see, Gugu Dlamini, the number 7, sitting 40th on the goal scoring list, 3 goals in 15 games. Those two up front have scored 9 goals between the two of them, and they'll be looking to create a real threat in today's campaign. In goals will be their goalkeeper, Manana Mieki, the number 30, all the way down at the bottom there. She's managed to keep herself 3 clean sheets in her 19 encounters. Jacinta Modiko will be the coach, and once again we'll be looking for some good form. They've managed to get themselves 2 goals, 2 victories rather, in the last 5 games, 2 losses and just the 1 draw. Some notable victories there against TUT a couple of weeks ago, and of course against First Touch, both of those at home. They've lost 2, drawn 1 in their last 4 games at home, but they've managed to take victories away from home. UWC have played 4 games of their last 5 right here at the UWC stadium. They've only managed the 1 victory, but both of their losses coming here at home. So you can't help but think UJ, the favourites going into this campaign. And you'll see UJ playing in their black, orange and white strips. It looks like they'll be moving from left to right on our screen. And in the all yellow, the ladies from the sun, UWC, the home side, will go from right to left on our screens as we see a windy Cape Town, a beautiful Cape Town nonetheless, as you see the backdrop right there in the background. And will it serve up a beautiful afternoon of football right here on the 24th of September, Heritage Day in South Africa? Which one of these two sides will be able to make heritage and get themselves 3 points? One team looking to avoid the relegation zone, the other looking to make their way into the top 4 as we await 90 minutes of football. UWC, the home side, will get things underway. As I mentioned, from right to left on your screen, in the all yellow will be the home side, and the visitors in the black, white and orange will be going from left to right, all the way from Johannesburg. We'll be looking to really have a party here on this beautiful Wednesday of a Heritage Day. Early dispossession there for UJ. They would have enjoyed that. They would have taken the ball off the home side early on in this game. And it's going to be important, just having a look at some of UJ's last couple of games. They've managed to score themselves 28 points in the last 28 goals rather in the last 21 games, just a little bit over a goal a game, and they don't seem to concede much. They concede an average of 1 goal a game. Interestingly enough, UWC only conceding half a goal every single game, so a really good defensive record for the home side. And UJ, a side that likes to go forward, a side that likes to try and put goals in the back of the net. They are not scared to get upfield and leave their defenders exposed. 35 points for the side from Johannesburg, 21 for UWC. As this one straight into the box, it's trouble here. Just doesn't quite manage to get onto the end of that one. It's Refilwe Maseko. Ball went straight up into the air. She couldn't quite put it on that left boot of hers. And luckily for Sipesihle Dlamini, doesn't have to deal with an early shot. Just 90 seconds rather into this game. And early warning signs here being shot into the air for UWC, but they're going to have an attack of their own down the left-hand side, across the face of goal, gets a touch onto it, and just squeezes out to the right-hand side of the goals. And a really good early start, end-to-end stuff here at the UWC Stadium. And both of these sides looking to try and get themselves onto the scoreboard. Early warning shots for both sides in this game. And they're going to have to look to defend as UWC go up. Allows that one to bounce and go backward. Does Makomo. Now has to defend her lines. She's been dispossessed, and UWC will relish this opportunity to go forward as Manengela tries to put one across, and they'll get their first corner of the day. UWC, the side fighting to get themselves out of the relegation zone, showing their attacking prowess early on in this game. We've seen plenty of goals coming from set pieces. So difficult to defend as this one goes out to the near post, goes onto a foot, and unfortunately not quite managing to get the right touch onto that one. The flick on was really good into a dangerous zone, and once again just to the right hand side of the poles of Dlamini. Of Mayiki rather. And UWC trying to come back at UJ. Ball up into the air. They'll want to get it under control. That's exactly what they managed to do. They get it out to their skipper this time round, who tries to come back and get the possession. She does exactly that. It was a real tussle on the ball, that. And that was the skipper Fikile Magama who manages to win possession that time round. Occupying the left-hand side of the field does Magama. The skipper will be looking to lead her troops into glory. Out just over the penalty spot, and can't quite get the elevation she needed to get a decent enough forehead onto that one. It's a really tasty ball, that one, into the box. And unfortunately, once again, it looked like Zondi that time who put that one into the box, but couldn't quite find her teammate. Lovely ball, dangerous ball. I spoke about the set pieces a little bit earlier, and they might prove once again to be a real threat, as we're going to have to get the medics onto the parks. It looks like Manengela, who's gone to ground there. She's taken one to the face, unfortunately. And yeah, anyone who's been hit in the face with a soccer ball will know exactly how much that one hurts. Well, as we have a little stoppage in play here, 5.5 minutes into this game, and so far UJ find themselves absorbing plenty of pressure. Two corners have gone against the side that sits sixth on the table at the moment, and UWC have really come out firing here on Heritage Day. And it will be important here for one of these two sides to try their best to get onto that scorecard nice and early, apply the pressure, and ask the opposition to try and get themselves back into the game. As you can see here, the referee just asking for the stretcher to be brought onto the park. That ball hit with some real vigor, some real venom into the face of Manengela. And there you can see the medics making their way onto the park. We hope this is just precautionary. Hopefully just an opportunity to have a look at Nondomiso Manengela, the number 15, who's gone to ground there after taking one right to the face. She won't be particularly happy to make her way off the field this early on in the game, but nonetheless, safety first, of course, is important. These two sides not scared of scoring goals. UJ have managed 28 in their last 21 games. And of course, UWC managing 18 in their last 17. As far as stats go, we might expect a 1-all draw in this game. That's the call I'm making early on. Hopefully, we see plenty of goals. Both of these sides will be looking to take the full complement of 3 points out of this game. As you can see, the UJ ladies just knocking the ball around, keeping themselves on their toes, trying to keep as fresh as possible, as agile as possible, whilst Nondomiso Manengela makes her way off the park. And indeed, not something we like to see. But unfortunately, such is the game of football. It was an attempt of a clearance there from UJ. And unfortunately, the clearance only managing to make its way into the face of Manengela. And it will be somewhat important for these two sides to try and get things back underway. They'll need a whole new warm-up after this one. Time's been off for about 3 minutes in this game. You can see UJ just knocking it about. UWC just having a couple of chats. And I think a substitution will indeed be made. Yeah, not something we like to see. Of course, you can catch all the action on SAFA.net as well as the live stream on YouTube. If you're not already there, send the link out to friends, family, and the likes. They can join in on the action of this Hollywoodbets Super League live stream between the University of the Western Cape up against the University of Johannesburg. And no, this is not a Varsity Cup game. This is the Hollywoodbets Super League, the premier division of women's football in South Africa. As we see on the far side there, Manengela making her way off the park, wishing her a speedy recovery. She went straight to ground after taking that one to the face. We await to get things underway. About 5 minutes taken out of this half. The referee is ready to get things back underway. No is how the score stands. The two goalkeepers today, Sipesihle Dlamini as well as Manana Mieki, will be hoping that their side of the scorecard doesn't change too much. We'll be looking at to keep a clean sheet in this game. Mieki, only the 3 clean sheets. Dlamini, the 7. Both of them have played 17 games thus far. As I mentioned, the defensive record of UWC has been absolutely fantastic. Just the 10 goals scored against the side from the Western Cape. Of course, UJ will be looking to add to that tally today. They get themselves into really good spaces, and UWC are forced to make the clearance. Now in a dangerous position. UJ can commit some numbers forward. They decide to go right up to the byline, and some cause for concern, trying to clear their lines. It's messy at the moment, but the foul will go against UJ. You can see then a very upset Tobelihle Shamase, the number 24 from UJ, just having a word with the referee, asking what exactly that was for, and the signal for a shove in the back came from our match official. As now just starting to put a couple of passes together now. UWC thinking about trying to get it in behind the defensive line, but it won't be that easy against this UJ side that find themselves 6th on the table. Down the flank, trying to find some space on both of these sides now. Not too successful in their endeavours. Still early on in this game. Lovely one touch, and that's some good football there from Ndlovu. Doesn't quite have the pace to get onto the end of that one. But a lovely 1-2 in the middle of the park, creating space for themselves. And UJ thought that they might have had the opportunity to go forward. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be, says our match official. Has a look into a dangerous zone. It's a really good header there from UJ. They need to try clear their lines, and once again, just out to the right-hand side of the goals of Sipesihle Dlamini. And UJ are going to have to be really careful. Sorry, Manana Mieki rather is the goalkeeper. And 3 really good opportunities for the University of the Western Cape. Unfortunately, haven't been able to take them as UJ launch an attack of their own down the middle of the field. Trying to put a couple of passes together. And Shamase is the one who's been cautioned this time round. She's going to have to be really careful, Shamase. She's had a run-in with the referee already. That time round, just lifting her studs, exposing her studs to the attacking player. Good ball. Doesn't quite find the space it needs to. Mieki gets it out to Makomo. Makomo looks to be the skipper for today's encounter, as they try and get it in behind once again. Just unsuccessful, and it's really good defensive work there now, turning defense into attack. Tries to find a little bit of space, and the linesman will lift his flag up on this near side. Offsides is the call in the middle of the park. And really end-to-end stuff here at the moment. Neither of these sides have managed to get the better of the other, but the signs are definitely there. Dlamini decides to go long down the middle of the field, and this is a really good ball, an opportunity now. And just not managing to get anything onto the end of that one does Mjambani. But once again, the warning signs are there for UJ. Corner now for University of Western Cape. And UJ are going to have to be really careful about this. There's 5 attackers inside the box. Off it goes, down to the middle. Goalkeeper makes herself big, and Mieki this time round dominates her 6-yard area and relaunches the attack. It's the captain, Magama, that time, who tries to put it onto that left boot. Unable to retain possession as UJ. Just looking to knock the ball around a little bit. Just trying to get it to feet. But they'll give away the foul in the middle of the park. And UWC now with another opportunity to try and get in behind. Decides to go short that time. Putting it together, and offside is the call on the far side from the assistant referee. Just finds herself in an advanced position. A little bit too high up the field was Mwala. Into the sky it goes. You can see the wind just starting to take some effect there. Ball not quite going as far as they would have wanted it to go there. Magama, the captain. Down the left-hand side. They've had some good success down this left-hand side, of course, through their skipper, Ufikile Magama. Working with Kogetso Mamobolo down this left-hand side is Magama. They'll be trying to get the better of the UJ defense. Stepping up to the plate now is Sinegugu Zondi. Tries to put it out to the far post. That's a really good header. Manages to get herself a goal. That was really good there from the number 8 Zondi. Puts it into a really dangerous position. And on that far post, giving Manana Mieki absolutely no opportunity to get onto the end of it. And UWC, the home side, who are fighting their way out of a relegation battle, find themselves 1-0 up at the UWC Stadium. And that's exactly what can happen. They had a good run of the play. They had a majority of the possession. And they really did look good on attack, did UWC. Unfortunately, Manana Mieki unable to do anything about that header of goal. It was absolute quality into the area there from Sinegugu Zondi. We saw her do it in the first couple of minutes of the game. She put it into a really good position. And this time round, it comes with a goal as well. 1-0, University of the Western Cape. Offside awarded here to the University of Johannesburg. UJ, as they're affectionately known. Now they've got the tough task of having to get themselves back onto the scoreboard and get themselves back into the game. They would have had high hopes to finish within the top 4 of the season, but now they find themselves chasing 3 points. Might go a begging in this game. Of course, it's not over till it's over. Plenty of football to be played as UJ decide to take it quickly. Mavundla tries to get it into a dangerous position. But physically really good at the moment are UWC. It was Ndlovu who came back to assist her defenders from that striker position. As that one goes high into the air, that's going to be a chase, but Myeki this time round more than competent to deal with that one. She can't quite find her target. Go forward ball now for the home side as it's been turned over nicely there in the middle of the field. They just need to put a couple of passes together. That looks good. That looks like she's in an onside position, but unfortunately isn't to be. It's Pilisa Mjambani that time round who's just slightly ahead of that offside trap. Good steal, and now it's go forward time for Nokala. Puts it onto the left boot, manages to find a teammate. Way up into the air it goes, and under considerable pressure at the moment are UJ. And you can't help but think the home side looking like the better of the two sides at the moment. And they really do deserve it. They've had most of the possession, most of the position as well in this game. And now an opportunity now through what looks like Maswangani, who might try and get some real quality into that far post. You can see how congested it is. The referee in a great position to see any foul that's being committed in that area. To the near post, goalkeeper comes and makes herself big, but just can't quite get that one on target. It had some real venom on the end of it. And Mjambani, who's been good so far in this game, not quite managing to steer that one towards the goals. Myeki goes short, finds Matumo. Vala, go forward, finds a little bit of space. They need numbers forward. Unfortunately not managing, and that's naughty there from Gugu Dlamini. 3 goals in this campaign already. She won't want any yellow cards. She'll just want balls in the back of the net. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Just exposes her studs to the defender. Catches the defender on her way. Nothing malicious, says the referee. But nonetheless, the foul's been given as Magama. Just trying to find her forwards. There's plenty of yellow shirts up there. They need to do something with it. As they try and go forward. This is good work. Just putting ball to foot at the moment. Knocking it about in a good area. Zondi trying to find another assist for her side. She's got one already in this game, remember. And a free kick in a really good position. This is exactly what UWC would want. We've seen how good their set pieces have been. Fikile Magama getting a really good ball into the near post from the corner, as well as Sinegugu Zondi, who assisted in that first goal for her side. This time round, it's a free kick in a really scoreable position. Manana Myeki is going to have to do well to keep this one out of the back of the UJ net. As we await the referee's whistle. And of course, the UWC players need to be just outside of a certain range of that wall, as we've seen in top flight football. Takes the shot and deals with it nice and well there, does Manana Myeki. It was directly at the keeper. It needed just to go either side. But wasn't to be on that occasion. Myeki once again just finding the touchline. Magama looking for a yellow shirt, does this captain. Manages to find one. Ndlovu doesn't quite manage to find a teammate. Njambani trying to wiggle her way out of a little bit of trouble. Dlamini gets it onto the right boot, and it's going to be a chase now. Foot race to the ball, which is won this time round by UWC. But UJ, only one goal separates these two sides at the moment. And they'll back themselves to get back into this game as quickly as possible. And even possibly go up in this competition. The two universities fighting it out at the Hollywoodbets Super League. And now UJ have a set piece of their own. A little bit far out at the moment, but they'll back themselves to put it into a dangerous position. What can they do? Can they get themselves back into this game? It's a big run up. Hammers it into the box. That's a good ball. It's an even better header to clear their lines. And now UWC can launch an attack. They've got to be careful not to go offside. But Manana Myeki will have no trouble in collecting that ball. Goes long, goes deep. Simaile has to deal with that one. Not too successfully. A free kick in a nice position here. They've committed some numbers. They got 5 black shirts up inside the box. It's going to need some real quality out of distance to have a pop. But in a good area here. Decide just going a little bit too far that time round. And you can't help but think that might have been a wasted opportunity there for UJ to get the ball into a really tricky position. Pressure here inside the box. Managing to clear their lines nicely. This is some good 1-2 football. As UWC starting to put the passes together. Unfortunately, just as I said that, Spumelele Shamase manages to win the ball there as Makumu. A little bit of a mix-up, and now this creates problems here for UJ in a good position. The first touch is a little bit too heavy. It's still in possession with UWC, and this time around, just going over the top, and you can see the defenders there not happy with each other. A miscommunication at the back opens the door for UWC, but unfortunately, given the opportunity, the ladies in yellow weren't able to punish the side from Johannesburg. Score remaining at 1-0 here to the home side. They would have wanted to make it 2, but wasn't to be. UJ still in this game. UWC, as it stands, have the 3 points if they can keep it like this. And a foul awarded against UWC. UJ, play it quickly. Get it out to Gugu Dlamini. Haven't seen too much of her. 3 goals in the competition so far. She'll be looking to add to her tally. Of course, she's got Tato Mofolo, the number 9, who's managed to score herself 6 goals already in this comp. Dlamini gets it back, unable to bring it under control, and you can just see the frustration starting to brew on your screens. UJ not enjoying their time out here in the beautiful Cape Town. But as I say that, is this an opportunity? Tobelihle Shamase not quite able to get to that one. Into the area. It's headed on that time round by Nokala. Opportunity now as the number 14, Zikona Nokala, gets it across the face of goals and not quite managing to find a yellow shirt. They've had their fair share of opportunities of UWC at the moment, it must be said, and they want to put a few more of them away. UJ have been absolutely no slouches in this game. They've created some good opportunities, haven't had any real clear-cut opportunities, but nonetheless, they do look like they go forward well, do UJ. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, they are susceptible to conceding goals either side from Johannesburg. 21 in 21 games they've conceded. Magama, the skipper, goes short. Ball gets thrown away. Dlamini manages to get onto the end of it. And looking to launch the counter-attack is Tobelihle Shamase. She's a busy player as the right midfielder. Of course, assisted in midfield by Spumelele Shamase. It'll be interesting to know if they are related. Dominating the midfield for UJ are the two Shamases. Number 19 and number 24 respectively. Spumelele as well as Tobelihle. Up it goes, just slips underfoot and gives UWC an opportunity. And as I say that, just throws it into a dangerous area. Lovely touch, Dlamini. Goes back looking for a little bit of space. Upfield it goes, that's a lovely ball, and I'm not sure if the ref will allow that. In the back goes the defense of UWC. It looks like Zondi, who's gone flying into the back. Set piece time has proved so lethal for the ladies at the moment, as this one goes across the face of goal, but offsides is the call. In an advanced position is Shannon Makomo, who just gets slightly ahead of the offside trap. Looking to get the ball upfield. UWC have had a little passage of play where they've had to play the game inside their half. They won't be enjoying that too much. They'll want to play it inside the UJ half as much as possible. Long, down the right-hand side. In the back of her she goes, and this one getting really physical. We've already seen one player making their way off the park. It was number 15, Ndomiso Manengela, who made her way off the park. And hopefully we won't have to see too many more medics. Dangerous. Into the box it goes. It's going to be a little bit of a tussle. Goal kick is the call there from the assistant referee on the far side. Just trying to clear their lines. You can see the wind there once again, just holding up a little bit in the wind as Makomo is putting under a little bit of pressure, tries to clear her lines, unsuccessful. Now she's going to have to deal with Nokala, who manages to win herself a corner. And we don't have to say it twice. The ladies from the Western Cape, they love it at set piece time. They get those balls into such dangerous spaces. Opportunity now. It looks like Zondi, who wants to whip this one into the box. It looks like just committing the 4 yellow shirts. Go short and puts the goalkeeper under considerable pressure. They love it at set piece time, do the University of the Western Cape. Sinegugu Zondi whips it into the box once again, and just unable to deal with the aerial threat of the University of Johannesburg. And the home side find themselves 2 goals clear in this Hollywoodbets Super League game. And boy, oh boy, can this game deliver some beauties. 14th on the table, playing 6 at the moment. And I'll tell you what, you wouldn't be able to tell who's who. Home ground advantage playing the part at the moment. And they'll be really careful not to give away. And, oh, goodness gracious. A foul has been awarded by the assistant referee on the far side. Just when UWC thought that they have another opportunity to get onto the scoreboard, they saved by the flag. Wow, UJ. This is going to be a long 9 minutes for the ladies in black. They'll want to get into that change room as quickly as possible. They've been put under some serious pressure in the last couple of minutes. They'll need to absorb it for as long as possible, try and get themselves onto the scoreboard. And most importantly, they can't afford to concede in the next 9 minutes as they await the half-time interval. But UWC have come out guns blazing. They've loved the set pieces so far. Sinegugu Zondi has been absolutely brilliant, as we see a little bit of a miscommunication there in the middle of the park. UJ now trying to get a goal of their own, only managing to come out with the goal kick. But going into this match with the record that UJ have had, who would have thought that they would find themselves trailing in this game? They've managed to win 10 games already in this competition against only the 5 games of UWC. So a side that really knows how to win games. But as I mentioned, they've conceded 21 goals in their last 21 games. And after this, you can make it 23 goals in 22. A side that's not scared to go forward and try and score goals. Unable to shut the back door this time round. And UWC have helped themselves into the house. And it's not done yet. They still want to go forward. And they have themselves a free kick in a really dangerous position. They've scored their 2 goals from set pieces, and UJ have given away another set piece in a really good position this time round. And they'll want to make it 3 goals going into the half-time interval. The 2 coaches at Tinesonke Mbuli, as well as Jacinta Modiko. Well, Mbuli will be the happier of the 2 coaches at the moment. 2 goals in the clear against the side that find themselves sitting in 6th position on the log. Decides to have a pop, and it's a really good save there. Brilliant work inside the goals there from Manana Mieki, who isn't caught off guard that time round. It's a really good shot from distance, but they're not out of the woods yet. Sinegugu Zondi, who's been a part of the last 2 goals, has an opportunity to put this one into the back post and create some more issues for the University of Johannesburg. 4 in the box. Decides to go to the near post, but unfortunately can't quite get that one into a dangerous position. And UJ live to tell the story another day. Just the 2 goals separating the 2 sides at the moment. 5 minutes left to play as UJ, they'll be looking to get back into this game. Has a shot at goal, but unfortunately only manages to find Sipesihle Dlamini in goals. She's been quiet so far as the UWC goalkeeper. Just testing whether she's awake or not. Up to the task as now Nokala tries to catch Mieki off her line. Can't quite find the direction. It had plenty of distance. As Mieki decides to go out to the left-hand side. Once again, you can see the wind playing a factor. It's hard for the ball to move from left to right on the screen. Of course, UJ will be hoping going into the second half that it's more or less the same. Just knocking it about, trying to find some space. UJ have dispossessed, looking for the through ball. But the communication between the three up top, not quite there. Dlamini, Mofolo, as well as Maseko. That trio, a really dangerous trio in this competition. They've scored 9 goals so far between the three of them. And I'll tell you what, they'll be looking to make it 11 at minimum by the end of this game. As they find themselves chasing in this encounter. UJ's last 5 games, they've won 2, lost 2, and drawn 1. Losses against the TS Galaxy Queens as well as Richmond United. Victories up against TUT as well as First Touch. And that draw to the University of Fort Hare. And now they find themselves losing away from home to the University of the Western Cape. Who, I'll tell you what, they haven't had to buy too many flight tickets in the last couple of weeks. Home to TUT, home to First Touch, home to University of Fort Hare, and home to Sundowns, managing to get a draw against the top of the table side. A really good effort there from the University of the Western Cape. As Magama, the skipper, goes down the line in search of Nokala as Dlamini. It's off a hand, it's ball to hand, says the referee. Some unhappy campers, but they're going to have to deal with it. As we enter the last 3 minutes of normal time in this game. They don't quite have an answer for UWC at the moment. Trying to get in behind, but it's so difficult with the wind howling from left to right. That's a lovely ball, though, from Mamabolo. Out onto the right wing, and just a little bit too much. The wind possibly just helping that one on its way. And just cutting off the side of the boot. One minute of normal time left in this game. Of course, there was about 5 or 6 minutes in this game that had to be stopped for the injury of Manengela. I'm sure the referee will be looking to add that on at the end of this half as Magama down the line, and they'll have themselves a goal kick. Will the University of Johannesburg, who find themselves trailing in this game by 2-0. Can they find a way back into this game? They'll be grateful for a goal in this first half still. Go into the halftime break with their coach Jacinta Modiko. Hopefully playing from right to left on the screen will assist the side from Johannesburg. The wind absolutely tearing. You can see the trees in the background. And it's been difficult for UJ to get in behind the defense of UWC. Possibly the reason why Sinegugu Zondi has had such a good time at set piece. Difficult to deal with that ball in the air. As a corner now goes in the direction of UJ. We've come to the end of normal time. Can they get something to go into the halftime break with? Or can UWC defend their lines, take the 2-goal advantage, and go have a chat to their coach, Tinesonke Mbuli, who will be really happy with proceedings at the moment Into the box, far post, gets a head onto it, but doesn't quite get the power that she would have wanted. It's not a bad ball there from UJ, but unfortunately unable to get any real power onto it, and you can just see how far that ball is carrying at the moment. The wind really helping it along on its way, and that's something that UJ will have to take notice of going on into the second half. The ball going from right to left on your screens, so difficult to deal with. You can just see how difficult it is to clear that ball there from Myeki. Knowing Cape Town, the winds could change. Of course, UJ won't be wanting any of that. Ball into Njambani that time round. Wants to get herself onto the scoreboard. Hasn't had too many opportunities. She had a really good opportunity from the boot of Zondi from the corner. Got it onto the head. Wasn't quite able to steer it in the right direction. Njambani has a look. Manages to go one out, and they'll want to cross it into a dangerous position. That's exactly what they do, but offside is the call. It looked like it from here. It looked like Mhlongo, who just wasn't in the right position, was always really offside, was Lunetemba Mhlongo. As UJ go and hunt for their first goal in this game. 2 minutes of added on time have gone past. Mavundla tries to go upfield, only gets the ball back off the head of the UWC defense. You can see Coach Modiko on the sideline there, just urging their players along. Makomo deals with that one, only manages to find Mhlongo. Trying to bring it down under control. Lovely work there from Shamas. She's been busy in the midfield as Tobilihle Shamas. And now a free kick, tries to get it in behind the defense. And a no-nonsense attempt at a clearance that time round from UWC. They know how important it is to go into the half-time break. 2 goals in the clear against UJ. However, it's not over yet. Still a little bit of time to be played in this half. Into the box. Trouble now, and clearing their lines that time round to UWC. It's good work from Ngobile, who finds herself in a really deep position, doing everything they can to defend their lines at the moment, UWC. But UJ driving forward, trying to get ball onto the penalty spot. Dlamini out to Makomo. Can't quite get any power onto that one. The ball will be awarded to UWC, who will be more than happy to slow things down. Magama. Down the line she goes. You can't help but think a third goal in this game from UWC might just put it away. As offsides is the call. One last real opportunity here for UJ. With the wind working against them, they'll want to get a little bit closer, which is exactly what they try and do. Appeals for handball, unsuccessful, says the referee. As the referee decides he's seen enough for the first 45 minutes of this game. Right here in the Hollywoodbets Super League, UWC find themselves 2 goals in the clear against UJ all the way from Johannesburg. But don't go too far away. There's still plenty of football to see in the second half of the Hollywoodbets Super League here between University of Cape Town, University of Western Cape, and the University of Johannesburg. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, as we make our way back to the action here for the second half of the Hollywoodbets Super League here between two sides that find themselves on opposite ends of the table. It's UJ traveling all the way down to UWC. There's confirmation of that first half score, 2-0, as we go into the second half. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be UWC who are going to be the happier of the two sides, but they'll understand that it's not over yet. With the wind soaring from right to left on our screens, they'll be wary of the threat that is brought by the UJ ladies. Rufilwe Maseko, Gugu Dlamini, as well as Tato Mofolo, the front three for UJ, will be looking to get their side back into this game as quickly as they exited it in the first half. Of course, 45 minutes of football to be played. The side that finds themselves in 14th, the home side, 2-0 up against the side that finds themselves in 6th position here in this competition. As we end the back end of the season, some tired legs, but of course some big squads that will see these sides finishing off the season. And there you can just see the ball not quite getting the same distance there from Sibesihle Dlamini as it did in the first half. She was kicking it basically box to box in the first half. But now, just a little bit of a struggle. The dynamic of the game is really going to change as UJ going right into that wind. Ball in with Mamabolo. Intercepted nicely there by Makomo. There you can see all of a sudden the ball really starting to get some carry here for UJ. And they'll be thinking about that. They'll be looking to release that front three of theirs. Give them a nice opportunity to get on the end of a couple of balls. There you can see what was a box-to-box kick in the first half now doesn't make its way over the halfway line here for Sibesihle Dlamini. As they look to go forward, and they might well have themselves a corner here to UJ. We saw some real threatening balls coming in from UWC in the first half. Look at the corner flag, absolutely howling. This is the opportunity they need. They need to get it into a dangerous position. They need to get it into that back post. It's dangerous. Unfortunately, no black shirts managing to get onto the end of that one. And that's exactly what we speak about. It's a huge threat here from set piece. And they have to be wary of what's to come here, UWC. They would have spoken about it in depth, would have Tina Sonke Mbuli, the coach for the home side, knows exactly what to expect. As Dlamini, you can just see the time-wasting tactics right underway early on in the second half. They want to eat as much time as possible, make it as difficult as possible, and really get UJ clawing their way back into this game. Just trying their best at the moment, trying to get into it. UWC now down that left-hand channel. They'll retain possession. They'll want to play the game inside the UJ half. More than happy to slow it down. A 2-goal cushion might just be enough in this game. Of course, you can't get caught in that 2-0 trap. Need to make sure that they keep thinking with a positive mindset. Keep trying to go forward. Have a look at that ball going backwards in the air. UWC, the call is for them to go forward, trying to get Ntombi Figile Dlamini to go forward as the coach. There she is, Ndlovu. Plenty of yellow shirts inside the UJ half, and Mamabolo tries to put it into a dangerous position. It's landed nicely on the feet. Mamabolo not quite managing to get that left foot onto the end of it. Going backwards at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see whose ball this is. UJ with the go forward. They need a goal early on in the second half. Really apply some pressure on the home side. They retain possession. Keeping it nice and tight. Maseko finds Dlamini, who can't quite get it onto that left foot. They're going to be really important. Maseko, Dlamini, Mofolo. The front three for UJ will be looking to get their team back into this game. Trouble here. They've put them under pressure. It's a high press opportunity. Makomo looking to play the 1-2. Coming from an offside position was Maseko, but all of a sudden UWC finding it really difficult to defend in this half. And it's going to be important for them to close up shop as Shannon Makomo tries to drive forward down the right-hand side. Does well to try and keep possession, but doesn't quite manage. Trying to find a way forward here. UJ in a dangerous position inside the 18 area. It was an important header that time round. Can they get themselves back into this game? You can just see the captain, Figile Magama, slowing it right down here for UWC. Knows exactly what's needed for her and her troops in this encounter. Plenty of possession. Inside their own danger zone now, UWC trying to play it out. Just having a look forward there for Njambani. And all of a sudden, the game has just changed up a little bit here. UWC dominating in that first half, of course, all courtesy of the win, but they managed to take their opportunities. The first two goals coming within about a 10-minute stretch for the home side. And now UJ chasing the game. Can they take their opportunities? Or can the home side defend well? Good clearance there from Dlamini. Doesn't quite manage to find even the halfway mark. Trying to get in behind the defenses, but well defended there from Amagama. Puts it onto the right boot. Once again, struggling to find some distance. Knocking it about nicely here, Lumku. Good physicality here from the left half. Manages to keep the ball in play. UJ going forward here with the wind. Retains possession, numbers forward, into the box they go. It's in a really dangerous area. And unfortunately, that last touch forcing it out for a goal kick. It might have been the better option just for that to go out for the corner. Lovely work. Just putting the passes together now at the moment, or UWC. And have a look at this. Absolutely no rush. They know that they sit in the driver's seat at the moment. They know they've got the 2 goals. Opportunity now. Makomo tries to go across the face of goal. It's a real scramble inside the 18 area. UWC now with possession. Ndlovu. Makomo charges it down. She finds herself in an advanced position up the field. It looks like the coach has sent her into the middle of the park to get some go-forward ball. Onto the boot it goes, managing to clear her lines nicely that time does Dlamini. She'll want a little bit more of that. Get that ball inside the UJ half. Let them play it from there. Put them under a little bit of pressure. They're chasing the game at the moment, are UJ. Just a little bit of what seems like an elbow to the back and a yellow card brandished there to UWC under caution. It's been awarded to their number 18, Bilisa Mjambani, who get the first yellow card of the game. A little shove to the back, a bit of an elbow to the back might be the call. Let's have a look here. The referee just having a chat with his assistant referee. And the decision will stand nonetheless. Not much to change the referee's mind, and UJ now with an opportunity to go forward. They try and put the ball into a dangerous space. They need to clear their lines here. Dlamini puts it onto the head. It's not out of danger yet, but hacking it away. UJ have just over 30 minutes, plenty of time for the ladies in black and white to try and get themselves back into the game. That ball into the final third hasn't been great for UJ. But they know what they need to do. They need to get one more goal here, close the lead up, look to draw the game, and possibly, just possibly, try and fetch a victory in this game. However, UWC, they've got the goals at the moment. They've got the 3 points as it stands. Lovely turn, back onto the inside, beats a couple of defenders. Just hacking it away that time round. And 2 players down from UWC here. The referee looks like he's going to his pocket, and there might be a yellow card being given to one of the UJ players. Just having a chat here with his linesman on the far side. It'll be interesting to see what the result of this is. The yellow card is still in that left hand. We've already seen one substitution being made here for an injury. Manangela off the field in the first couple of minutes within this game. And now 2 UWC players on the ground. Up comes what looks like Nukala. She looks like she'll just stretch it out. And the medics will have to make their way onto the park. We saw this early on in the first half, within the first 5 minutes of this game. And now more troubles here for Coach Mbuli, who's going to have to make a change. Not sure if the coach was ready to make a change, but they're going to have to as the stretcher makes its way onto the park. It's going to be important here that the substitutes make their impact on this game. On one side, you've got the UJ substitutes who want to get themselves back into this game. And on the other side, you've got the UWC substitutes who want to close up shop, defend with everything they've got, and possibly get themselves a third goal in this game. Well, manages to get up here. It looks like Mhlongo on the far side there, who's just hobbling off the field at the moment. Well, we'll get things back underway. The ball will be with UWC. A considerable amount of stoppage time, I'm sure, will be added at the end of this half. Of course, UJ will be more than happy with that. As we get things back underway with the wind, it goes and just forced to clear her lines. Gets a touch off the body. Up it goes. Keeps it onto the feet. Just having a look around and only manages to find yellow shirts as UWC once again just trying to play it inside the UJ half as much as possible. Lumko gets bustled over, manages to win the free kick. Dlamini trying to go forward to find either Como or Maseko. Unable to find either, but still in possession are the ladies from Auckland Park. They need to go forward now, do UJ. That's what they're trying to do. You can see every pass going forward, trying to find some space. They're not interested in knocking it about. They want to get up to the goals. Substitute will be made on this near side, and as I said, so important for these subs to make a difference, whichever way that is. Can UWC hang on to this lead? They're looking good so far. UJ haven't had any real clear-cut opportunities. Into the box it goes. They're trying to make it 3 at the moment. And they have themselves a corner. They really did threaten the face of goals in the first half. Now an opportunity. We saw how dangerous Sinegugu Zondi was, putting the ball into really dangerous areas. She managed to find Ntombifikile Lovu to get herself onto the scorecard. Wraps a foot around it, goes into the near post. The UJ defender nice and strong as Shamase. Looking to go forward now. And just bunting that one upfield, keeping it inside the UJ half or UWC. In the air, finds a head. UWC trying to go forward, and Lovu goal scorer in this game already. Just trying to put UJ under some pressure, and offsides is the call from the linesman on this near side. And all of a sudden, UWC is just starting to find their attacking boots. There's confirmation of the score. 2-0 is the score. The home side breaking the hearts of the ladies from UJ. But it's not over yet. A shot on there, but it's dealt with by Manana Mieki. There's an illustration of the power of the wind in this game. Can really start to prove as a real threat. Dlamini puts it onto the boot. Doesn't quite find distance. Comes back into the defensive third of UWC. It's cleared away nicely there from Mhlongo, who's looked to shake that injury off. Looks like Chelsea Daniels has made her way onto the park. Will be interesting to see who she's substituted. The number 24 from UWC. You can see her occupying that number 9 position next to Tombifikile Ndlovu. So it might just be Nokala, the number 14, who's off the park at the moment, substituted after that injury. As UWC still looking to be an attacking threat. UJ just trying to get it in behind the defenses. Doesn't quite manage to get it past Zondi. Masengwane just rolls out here on this right-hand side. And it's a free kick here. They don't quite have the wind behind them to assist them. But nonetheless, we've seen Zondi, who's walking up to the set-piece position now. She gets the ball into really dangerous spaces. There she is, the number 8. Been involved in both of the UWC goals. Fantastic free kicks into really good areas. This is a good angle. Look at that space inside the box. Can UWC make it 3 and really close this game up? Zondi looks to curl it. Dangerous position. Now they're looking to do something with it. Mhlongo Daniels has a pop. But it will only go out for a throw-in. Up it goes. You can just see the studs, and that's a little bit naughty there from Spumelele Shabase. Just showing the studs there, and the referee will be having absolutely none of that. A yellow card will be shown to the UJ number 19. A fight nearly breaking out on the park. Dangerous play there from UJ, who get themselves their second yellow card of proceedings. It's Spumelele Shamase, the number 19, who finds themselves into the referee's handbook. And once again, another opportunity here for Sinegugu Zondi to whip one into a dangerous area. Well, here we go. That's a good area. Goalkeeper comes out, tries to make herself big. Possibly comes out a little bit prematurely, and UWC try to feed this one back into the 18 area. Cross the face of goal. Tries to get onto a head, but can't quite get enough onto it, can Ndlovu. Opens up the right boot, but not enough to get it past Manana Mieki to make it a third. The score will remain at 2-0 here to UWC, and they're still knocking on the door of the UJ ladies. UJ are going to have to do something. Gugu Dlamini looking for the go forward. They've got the wind on their backs. It might have just calmed down a little bit. Floats it into the penalty area. Nothing to it as Shannon Makomo in an advanced position. That's a good ball, but even better defense. Tries the volley, but maybe should have just brought that one under control. And it looks like Shannon Makomo has gone to ground, and I can tell you it's not gamesmanship. The side chasing the match at the moment wouldn't want to eat into their own opportunity to try and get onto the scorecard. Possibly just hurt herself in the attempt of that volley. The medics on the park looking after 20 minutes left to be played in this game. UWC look like they're getting closer and closer to taking all 3 points. UJ will be really disappointed by this. They would have come into this game thinking they're playing the 14th place side on the log, albeit they were 4 games short. Were UWC, they've only played 17 matches. UJ 21 matches. As Shannon Makomo makes her way off the field, so UJ will play with 10 in the meantime until a substitution's made. And you can just see once again there the ball not getting any real distance as Lumko gets the ball out to Shamase on a yellow card already. She'll need to be careful in the midfield. In behind, that's a lovely ball, but not quite managing to get onto it. The end of it does Tato Mofolo. 6 goals in the campaign so far, and she'll be looking for a 7th, maybe an 8th, to try and get her side right back into it. Dlamini gets no distance onto that one. Luckily, it manages to find Ndlovu. Lumko. Out to Shamasi. She finds herself in a bit of a tussle with Mamabolo. Lovely step there from Ndlovu, who tries to find Daniels. Unable to. Looking to get this one over the top of the defense. They do well to do so. And it's well read there from the defense of UWC as Ndlovu punts one out to Daniels, but just doesn't have the legs to get onto the end of it. Two-0 is the score at the moment. These two sides tussling it out for 3 points here at the UWC Sports Stadium. You can see the beautiful AstroTurf, the beautiful athletics track rather. 400 meters around the football field. It looks like Shannon Makomo's made her way back onto the park. So back to 11, full complement of players are UJ as it stands. Still looking for that goal to get themselves back into this game. They need 2 to draw as Mofolo trying to use her pace down this left-hand side, but unsuccessfully so. Up into the air, trying to get in behind once again. Makomo trying to give UJ some go-forward ball into the area. Has a look. Shamase can't quite bring that one under control. Lovely step, and now they've got the opportunity to drive forward through Ndlovu. Only manages to lose out that time to Spumelele Shamase. looking for players at the back post. The ball goes loosely into the area. They'll need to clear their lines here, will UWC. But luckily the referee up to their aid as they look to slow the game down even more. "15 minutes left in this half, at least a normal time." Of course, we did have the injury of Zikona Nokala, goal scorer in the first half for UWC. Finds herself off the park, of course, replaced by Chelsea Daniels, who will be looking to make an impact in this game as Ndlovu opened up the scoring a little bit earlier. Ndlovu added to the score, should I rather say. As UJ looking to try and drive into the box. They haven't had too many threats into the 18-yard area. Daniels has an opportunity now. She's got a little bit of speed. Tries to put it in behind, looking for her number 14 in Zikona Nokala, who's still on the park. Opened the scoring, did the number 14, Nokala. We'll be looking to close the game out as well, I'm sure. As UJ, numbers in the box. They've got 3 in the box. Dlamini needs to try and find one of her teammates. But absolutely brilliantly defended there. It looks like Mamabolo, who does the defensive work for UWC. Shamasi. Pumelele Shamasi this time round takes the throw, finds Lamini. Into the box it goes, and Daniels has an opportunity to stamp her authority on this game as Nokala, unfortunately, not quite managing to find anybody that time round. It's not over yet. As I mentioned, Nokala will be looking to close this game off as well. Driving towards the box, not managing to find a teammate, but offering some really positive intent here for the UWC side, who some might have thought would have closed up shop and really tried to defend the rest of this game, but they still look to be going forward. Still looking to get a couple of goals in this game and really give UJ no opportunity to make it back into this game. They've got a free kick. This is where they've been so good. It's a little bit far out. They don't have the wind on their backs. What can they do? Gets it into the area. It needs a little bit of assistance. Mamabolo doesn't quite have the height to compete. UJ driving forward. They've got numbers forward. They just needed to link up and find a pass or two. Starting to run out of time here, but a goal will really change the face of this game, as a goal kick will be awarded to UWC. 10 minutes of normal time left in this game. Of course, a little bit of time will indeed be added on as a substitute on this near side is being made for UWC. And I can just imagine Coach Mbuli will be looking to close up shop here. Take the 3 points, take the clean sheet. And and send the team all the way from Johannesburg back up the N1 with nothing to show. Good display here at the UWC Stadium for UWC, as UJ trying to cause a bit of an upset and ruin the party. There's confirmation of the score, 2-0. It sits to the home side. UWC all the way from Cape Town. They've bagged themselves 3 points as it stands, but it's not over yet. Still 10 minutes left in this game. Trying to drive forward. Dlamini down the left. Doesn't have the speed to get onto the end of it, but she'll retain possession. Will the striker. As a substitute is made on this near side. Looks like they're just searching for the long throw here into the 18. It goes low flick on. It's a little bit helter-skelter, but up to the task is Sipesihle Dlamini, who might well bag herself a clean sheet in this game. It will be her 8th clean sheet of the competition. 18 games played. Will be a really happy goalkeeper. They've got a really good defensive display here, do UWs, only conceding 10 goals, and another yellow card will be brandished to the UJ ladies. As you can see, the frustration just starting to come out here. Just showing the studs. I think right decision there from the referee. Unfortunately, anytime you expose your studs to the opposition, you hold yourself liable to giving away the free kick, as well as getting yourself into the naughty book. One last chance, possibly here, for Zondi to get in on the action once again. She's been an important part of this UWC attacking display. Her set pieces have been brilliant. She's used the wind to her advantage, drives one towards goals. But unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to beat Manana Mieki, who deals with that one well. UWC, they're not done yet. They still want to come back now through Tiffany Kortke. Tiffany Kortke, who started on the bench for her side, scored 3 goals in her 17 appearances so far in this competition. Top goal scorer for UWC, tied with Ronelle Donnelly, who doesn't feature in today's game. Of course, they haven't needed her. They've had the attacking threats up front of Zikona Nokala, as well as Ntombifikile Ndlovu, who have scored goals for them in this encounter. Up it goes, Zodi in the action, managing to find, once again, Chelsea Daniels. Misses out on a decent opportunity there, Zikona Nokala. Into the box, onto the chest. Makes a nuisance of herself. There's an opportunity now for UWC. And a free kick awarded to UJ, who once again under considerable pressure just managed to deal with it. Well, it hasn't been easy here for UJ. They've been under pressure for the last 85 minutes. They've won the battle physically. Loads of UWC players going to ground, but getting in the goals and really creating some problems for Manana Mieki have the UWC ladies. As we see, it looks like Tiffany Korki makes her way off the park. She's just come on the park. She came off the bench, did the number 5. Of course, as I mentioned, top goal scorer for UWC. Only the 3 goals, of course, sharing that with a Ronelle Donnelly, who has really made an impact. She's only played 9 games as Donnelly, and she scored her 3. Tiffany Kortke, 17 matches to get those 3 goals, but playing on the left-hand side, so not as easy as we may make it out to be. As UJ turn it over in the middle of the park. Shamase getting past a couple of players. She needed just to offload it. As ambitious strike there from Makomo. Doesn't do anything for UJ that time round. She's been an attacking threat as Shannon Makomo. Started at back, she's been pushed up into the midfield to try and get her side some go-forward ball. Just the 1 goal is what UJ need to make this game really spicy. A 2-goal cushion for UWC. Can they get themselves back into it? Good flick on, trying to find Chelsea Daniels. It's a little bit of a mess down that left-hand side, but UJ come out with it. Into the box they go. Daniels gives away the free kick. She's not happy about something. But nonetheless, UJ into the wind. Plays a dangerous ball to the far post. Would it have counted anyway? Offside is the call from the linesman on that far side. Just looking for Tato Mfolo. Second top goal scorer for the UJ ladies. Of course, Aisha Musa missing in action today. She's their top goal scorer. 7 goals in 14 games. Tato Mfolo, 6 goals in their 19. And Gugu Dlamini, 3 goals in her 15. They'll be disappointed, will UJ. They've got the attacking prowess. They've got strong midfielders, good defenders, and a good goalkeeper. But the home ground advantage has come through for the team that's wanted it the most in this game. You cannot doubt that UWC have been the better of the 2 sides here, both in defense and attack. They've used the win to their advantage. They've dealt with this win really well in the second half. You can hear it on our microphones coming from the ground. As Portia Masilela lines it up. 5 in the far post. Masilela goes for goals! And off the upright it goes. It was a really good strike there from Portia Masilela. Just didn't get the dip it would have needed. And the wind maybe just carrying it into the poles. There might have been a touch there from goalkeeper Sipesi Dlamini. But that would have been a really important moment in this game. Masilela that time round deciding against going for the far post. She decides to have a pop at goal herself. And unfortunately, just doesn't have the dip on it to take it into the back of the net. And Sipesi Dlamini retains her clean sheet. As we go into the last couple of minutes of this game, UWC can smell the victory right here on Heritage Day. As we see 2 players just going to ground their 50-50 challenge, resulting in 2 players colliding with each other. UWC have the possession. They'll want to get this deep into the defensive quarters of UJ. Wow, a stretch is going to be required. She tried to get up. It looks like Nokala once again. She's trying to get up onto her feet. Off goes the medic. Looks like she's going to walk it off. She wants to finish the game. She opened the scoring. Did Zikhona Nokala here for UWC. And she'll want to close it out as well for her side. Right here at the UWC Stadium. Lovely ball. Dangerous position. Gets nice and high. It looks like Portia Masilela, who does the hard work there on the edge of the 18 area. Daniels. Gorky back on the park, trying to apply some pressure. Hasn't been a good day at the park here for UJ, travelling all the way from Johannesburg here on Heritage Day. And UWC have had all the answers here at home, at the home of UWC Sport, as you can see in the background. Up it goes. Looking to close up shop. Daniels is on the chase. She's got Gorky all the way to the right. Decides to try and play it into her. Still in a really dangerous position now, or UW. Lovely work. Sits the defender down, tries to go across the face, and only manages to find the defender's face, does Gorky. We saw this in the first half. Just being caught off guard there, does the defender. Wears one to the face. It's a good stop nonetheless. Good defensive effort, keeping that out of a dangerous position inside that 6-yard area. Two minutes into stoppage time, and we've got another stoppage here. Might take us really deep into the end of the day's play. She looks like she's fine on the far side. I'm sure the physio will get the ice out and treat her as it goes to the near post. It's loose. Daniels has a swipe. Doesn't manage to get anything onto it, but the foul will go against the UWC ladies. A foul just inside the penalty area, taking down a UJ defender. Means they live to tell the story another day. Chelsea Daniels would have seen her name in lights. But unfortunately, just couldn't get anything onto it. Upfield it goes. Well dealt with that time round by Captain Magama. As Nokala drives forward. A little bit too much there. Looking for Daniels and Gorky. The ball with some really good flight on it. As we end proceedings here at the home of UWC Sport, the UWC Stadium finds the ladies in yellow sitting 14th on the log before this 90 minutes, taking on the UJ ladies. Managing to get goals through Zikhona Nokala as well as Ntomefikile Ndlovu. 2-0 they win at home right here on Heritage Day. It's been an absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, right here at the Hollywoodbets Super League. There's confirmation of the score. UWC 2, UJ 0. It's been an absolute pleasure. See you next time. Bye-bye.